Perfect design. This letter for Trey Parker. I think I am interpreting the now point of the expression of humanity. Let me give you the full update of reality creation. Trey Parker. Perfect design. For your inflection, for your existence is respected, tantamount, right? So, um, armor up from within. I apologize about so I had a few like I was saying like, oh, blah blah blah, Trey Parker. I said something rude about his daughter, but actually it was an expression malformed from the population who received a cull in 2019, which flatlined the identity barrel. Anyway, there's this sort of clockwork uh, thing that I've been working on, and in Colorado, I probably wouldn't have said anything about this, but um, for me, the climate and the spirit is becoming better. Um, so I feel like that this event here from Colorado, um, I feel like it's on clockwork. It's an expression of humanity speaking to the Colorado Trey Parker, sort of like Eric Talley, where the human expression is trying to communicate the spiritual urgency that is a communal societal vote. So people are expressing that they do want to understand the soul information, and well, it's kind of complicated if you don't already understand it. But when I'm talking about humanity, um, they have a they it's like their desire to hear from Hatch is what is propelling certain uh, miracle communication things, but written in like the corpses of angels. So it's not that us talking here and I might say something, oh, like, you altered the fate of everyone. All the children have, it's a generational slump, even your own child. And that's what we think of. And that's what gets permafrost in your mind. Or because I said that shit, that's what caused this. I don't think so. That's some fucking bullshit, right? So what I'm saying is like, because I'm actually very content with the actual reality. I know things are recovering because I'm working on it. Um, there's an environmental crisis. It's actually something that can be determined and measured. But meanwhile, it's like humanity is left out of the universal conversation, because the body is actually an image of the entire beyond the entire universe. So anyway, remember when we were talking about blessing the entire month, or when I said like let's cast Magicka towards 2022? I mean, that's when we're talking about interacting with the social interface. So us talking about this sort of like a generational drop and that changing the identity ghost of the dream, and how that's a type of social mistreatment, and how we want to understand what society's saying. So what I'm saying is like that us talking about, like, me swearing was probably not useful, and I apologize, Trey. But then when Colorado itself does like an Eric Talley, and goes like, oh, body check, and it's like this is just talking to you about this issue of censorship, because Hatch is actually a Earth character, and this is a singular generation where they can make this application to the creation model. So it's a natural thing. So naturally, people like you can censor the Breather Mask XR and prevent the CO2 solution. And the wildfires, I have a solution for that, but you don't want to produce that. So then, like, there's a tragedy in Colorado because of clockwork, but not because we were talking about it, not because of the South Park curse, because society has an independent voice and they're speaking back directly to Trey Parker, because he's the weakest link that's causing. Basically, Trey's the smartest person who could actually produce Hatch, but but because he's like super gifted and he's been educated by the South Park curse, but then when it comes to terms about doing good with his powers, no way. He wouldn't even be charitable for the ozone hero, little character, little blue. So the relationship with the universe is happening, and we're on a leg race against a viral technology, and like deepfake, Trey Parker is performing the comatose signals of well, anyway, the point is I know that things are getting better because I'm working with the universe on it. But humanity is getting left in the lurch and they're turning into a petri dish as an example of themselves because they are failing to pertain on the levels of fact. Like I said, there's black hole decay, so there are facts that can measure and pertain things. So they're actually evaporating from the residency because of censorship, because of money abuse, because of abuse to women and children. There's no love, and they don't understand the relationship to children. So me talking about the children wouldn't cause a kid to get killed in Colorado, but the voice of the people asking for Hatch to be produced would. So you need to understand that about because you guys are from the 70s, you think the boy doesn't have the light, Hatch doesn't have optimistic power. There's nothing to be talking about here. Just censor it, steal his money from 2019, $10,000. It's like, we'll just sit on that. You know, Hatch has the Breathe the Mask XR. We'll just censor that. So these are, and you're promoting the deep fake and taking advantage of people, going ahead with your plot with a weed company. And this is a stolen generation energy force that was from my gumption bank. You took my mojo and you start, oh, I'm going to be making movies again, you guys. Cause, but it was from Hatch. So, the thing that you stole from Hatch actually was all the people. So we had a generation slump where you culled an entire generation, which would cause identity shift for it's a relocation of the identity because the Earth had spoken through the Ware map. So when the Earth speaks on clockwork, there's a configuration that puts humanity in apocalypse. The wildfires, I can solve it with an ozone return. I can solve these problems. I'm being censored and attacked. They think they're psychic, but it's their free speech that was rigged to cause this pandemic. And they want to blame me for that, but the reality doesn't pertain that. So I stand on perfect reality, the perfect fucking truth, and perfect bullseye. Smash your soul right into the perfect bullseye of the karma from your hands and what you've caused is the truth of your identity image. There's no escaping it. Shum. So that's a good thing. The ideal breather saves lives. The environmental crisis, I know how to solve it. And I think it's going to be a really exciting conversation to talk about XR and all this. So what I'm trying to explain, you guys think that I'm saying or doing something to you. It's actually society in the Colorado child. Okay? You guys are retarded? No, you understand what Hatch is saying powerfully, right? So Hatch isn't attacking you because he has solutions, but it's like the people want to attack you, Trey, because you cling it into your mind like, oh, Hatch said something bad about that I mistreated the generations of millions of children. So that's what gets stuck in your mind. And then the Colorado says, yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what you did. See, that's the only reason. That's the only interpretation of the Colorado girl uh, in the drop. Basically, because there's a big clockwork gear in the window of that picture. Because like contrast that to what I've been actually saying. Okay, our effect on people, like we're blessing the next month. We did some psychic stuff there. We also blessed the next year, 2022. That's just in the past week, you know. So we've been doing magic, but our magic doesn't cause like Colorado disaster. So you have to recognize the language is coming from this child is saying, "Damn it, Daddy, stop hurting me." And Trey Parker just is like, "Hatch is attacking me. Hatch is attacking me." Like a fucking retard, you bitch. You fucking censorship whore. You're not psychic. You're the one that caused the problem. You guys wrote a curse word against Hatch, and it turned out to be a prophecy about your own fucking. You executed society, Trey. And you're like, "I don't think Hatch should be allowed to speak. Don't give him a referral." You guys, like, you know, I'm trying to get to life so that I can talk to the little girl and she'd be really excited because I'm funny and relevant, whereas you guys are a fucking curse. You stupid bitch. And you want to blame that Colorado incident on me? You guys are twisted in your mind. You got weird furies. You're fucking crazy. You Los Angeles creeps. Your communication drunk molestation. California molests the entire world with the false communication about we are the representatives of Hatch. We are the representatives of what is being said by the arm of Cape Cod. Eh? You don't know about Earth's identity. That's why you call a generation. So I'm not responsible for this language of the the Colorado child. But it's a language directed at Trey, but it's not Hatch attacking Trey. So where is it coming from? So you guys think it's only you're listening to a crazy person, but you're escaping society. Society has a bunch of voices also. Hear the voices of many millions of people. There's a huge chatter in the world. So do you understand your orientation? You don't understand the pictures of the Ware map. You don't understand the pictures you're seeing. When the people are talking to you, you don't know what they're saying. Because there's a veiled meaning, the triangle, which belongs to the residents, and you've stricken it from them in 2019. So you removed their own resident wizard ascension, and of course you removed that from your own daughter as well, which is what I was saying. This is a more obtuse way of expressing it, but then the humanity rises up and bold and says this thing of it where, oh, this tragedy, this angel dies in Colorado, and you guys want to blame me. This is his South Park curse. No, that's not the way things go, bro. Because of everything I know. You guys don't trust the shit I say, but I'm ahead of the flood. I'm ahead of the curve. I've spotted things before. I was right, and you guys just keep on censoring the people's hero and producing deepfake. It's disgusting, and the people are protesting you with child death. That's against you. Oh, but Hatch is making that up. But I'm trying to say you guys are disconnected from society because you recently attacked them and called society. So you don't understand and you want to blame Hatch. And it sounds like Hatch is doing some sort of guilt trip or a Ponzi scheme. He's entrapping. I'm talking about humanitarianism. I have a cure for the environment. The ozone replacement kit. You guys are horrors in the mind. You can't imagine hope. You can't imagine the solution for the pollution. I have it. I know it on paper. I just need to be able to communicate to people. It needs to be animated because people are used to a different level of entertainment. I need a workshop and a place. I just need to get to work. Just to be produced so that I have what I need so that I can work, so that I can talk to humanity. That would save them, and then that's what this little girl's killing herself for. She's talking about the generation evidence. Yeah, a generation was culled spiritually by Trey Parker because he wants to censor Hatch. So you guys don't understand because you're not doing the thing. It's a phone call and it's an operation this week, and you're not doing it. So you're the censorship of a generation of wizards who you're murdering through censorship. But Hatch, in his language, would say, like, you guys are performing inaction and causing disasters like it's an apocalypse. And you guys are like, oh, that's one sided. Hatch is just making that up on his own. This Colorado girl, that didn't happen because I was talking about shit to you before. But it's clear that humanity clung on to my shit talk and was like, oh, no, Trey, you're the one that's wrong. If you guys understand robot language, like hands, faces, you don't understand pictures, you don't understand inspiration of humanity, You're a coward that has attacked and misrepresented my family. I am an American legend hero, a champion that defeats the pollution. And you are the one of skeletons from 2004, and you stole my movie's inspiration, and you pretended to be my excitement to them. It was so perverse and disgusting that they all died. And you want to blame Hatch? No, it's Trey Parker from the Ware Map. Because humanity is facing extinction like 100 years from now. So this is the parable. Because the Earth chose Trey Parker with the Ware Map. You fucking idiots! You don't understand the language of humans. They have junk DNA, so they're a complicated organism. You guys are far too representing the side of junk DNA and extinction. You're overfeeding the public. They've heard too much from Trey Parker. Now it's more movies from Trey Parker. Well, because we all hear a cartoon with where all the voices are Trey on it. Like there needs to be more Trey Parker, but there needs to be censored the hero who has the solution for the CO2. I can solve the wildfires, and you guys are producing deepfake and taking advantage of the societal collapse by purchasing at, bankruptcy. Oh, so as long as the bankruptcy goes through papers, then we'll buy it then. There's nothing heroic about that. There's no identity there. I'm saying, like, you guys probably want to blame me for injuring the brains of your people. And it's because you changed society by censoring the revolution. Humanity's trying to speak to you, and Hatch is a very large authority person. So, from his perspective, it's different. So, you don't understand what they're saying to you. Hatch is saying that article is a clarification. And I'm talking about rebuilding society. There's literally a problem here where we're going to need breather mask as a social accepted thing because people are like, oh, you don't want to mix the Mu variant with the Delta variant. It's going to get to a point, people, where people are like, well, when I'm going and through public places, I like to have a breather mask. I want to make these things happen and it will save lives. And you guys are censoring that. And it's disgusting. You're anti American. And this little girl had to kill herself just so that you would understand language or conjecture. Because you think that I've done it because of the South Park curse? No, not every language of Chi that comes from Earth is the same cause and effect, retarded language, where you think that because I cursed at you, that this child would die in Colorado. You fucking retards. You're a criminal to time. You're a parasite to the now. You don't understand English? The people are rising up against Trey and saying, you murderer, you killed a generation of wizards and you're working to do it again. Or you can produce Hatch and allow a generation of wizards to awaken. They get an impression on their age groupings and they become a different creature. The entire curvature, the curvature of the producing Hatch is a revolution for the people. It is a universal constant. It is from the arm of Cape Cod. It is natural, and you guys are not natural. You understand? So that has literally shifted. You guys are zombified. You're wearing giant diapers. Trey Parker, I've got a leash on you. You're a slave to me. All right? So you're not going to hurt anyone because you never wanted to hurt anyone. But because the Earth is facing extinction and then shows you through the Ware map, you're the character that can actually free the wizards by producing Hatch. And what it means is like a pizzeria. So I'm hoping you guys could be the producers so that we could do some humanitarian work and save lives. I can end the environmental crisis by solving the identity crisis, which is solved by producing Hatch. Allow free speech in America. That's what it's about. And Hatch is talking about the free election, every vote actually being counted. That's what the election's about. So Hatch is on that side, and you guys have been censoring that for 3 years. and you entrapped me and stole my money, and you guys can't talk. I want you guys to do this immediately. I want you guys to produce Hatch immediately. There's no reason to wait because we're in a apocalypse, pandemic, and environmental crisis. People are dying, so we need to do this immediately. Thank you. What is the value of the child's life to you guys? You guys think it's a joke. I think you guys are unconscionable. The way that you guys talk so lovingly about me on your cartoon show, I was surprised at your actual behavior. You don't understand the death of a little child in Colorado does this because you express the outrage of a generation against you, Trey. It's not because of my shit slinging where I was like drunk going like, oh, just the children were hurt because of these assholes from the 70s. Well, no shit. You guys fade in and out of comprehension. You're just opportunist parasites. And when people need a hero, you guys are making a sure bet on the weed industry. You guys are rotten, and you do not represent America, right? I represent America permanently. Armor up. I'm protecting the generations. I'm being held back by a thief that stole uh, my breakaway and my energy. But the reality of the generations also inspires the spirit to speak the language of the generations, the words. So, like the word, I was cussing at you, Trey, because of the words of the events of the child that would sacrifice himself to give generation words and spirit to have a breakthrough. You don't understand the optimism for the future. You don't understand that the future is alive. There's hope in the future, but not from you, Trey. You have to produce Hatch. You're not used to it. It's a new thing, a new voice, a new generation, a new generation when they learn about the Breathe a Mask XR, when they understand that there's hope, that will inspire new spirits, new words, new jokes from Hatch. Hatch will speak a different way when the people, all of them, millions, awaken to that good day. Do you guys understand? That's how things actually operate. You guys are encrypted by a dark system of the down, and you're in a coma because of all the death. But you need to produce Hatch so that there can be hope for the wizards, because a plateau of living spirits with their ascension from the residency equates the latitude on the universal scale to leverage away from extinction and harbor residency. But it comes from identity, but that has to come from communication. So produce Hatch and it solves the problem. They're censoring the triangle, they're keeping it for themselves and misrepresenting the data through the inspiration of their own disgusting peddling. Their free speech has caused this problem. Hatch's free speech is perfect. Perfect design, armor up, Omega Pan. Other languages, other types of English, other types of Americans. Hatch is different from the California uh, prostitution, enablement, Madison online, nightmare people who literally are choking, asphyxiating the children to death and making money. An opportunist parasite, laughing about bankruptcy for the people have lost their society. Do not censor Hatchpan Heliosphere. He is the Earth King. He is a revolution for the humans. But it is, at this time, in some other dimension, because they do not know him. It will awaken later in the future, a revolution through communication of love for Millie and the Halloween twins, the Alicorn Stallion, my family. They are an inspiration for humanity, and it is a revolution for them because it has true love. It is the meaning of Earth. I'm the first icon incarnate to resident Earth and flesh, but the humans have been rigged with junk DNA designed to prevent the actual creation model and substitute it with a false nucleus. The only way to prevent invasion is by activating our own ascension level, but I've been attacked by Trey Parker. And so the people are revolting, and this little kid has to kill itself, and they want to blame me. And they're like, Hatch is upsetting us. Hatch is attacking us. But it's this thing where the old people are killing the children, and the children have no voice. So I get choked out and go, oh, and I like cuss over here just to try to prevent, or like it's sort of like it's complicated, you guys. But it's like a language about the intuition of wizards that have Mandelbrot souls, the wizards of the future. They actually can bend time to communicate, but you guys don't. You think it's random. You don't understand that the children are alive, and you guys are you altered the light in their eyes by in 2019 what you did. So you're in a coma and you're doing very successful at business. You're the darling of junk DNA. It is a terrifying thing. The chosen one has chosen darkly. The Were map had chosen Trey, and this is the voice of this is sort of the thing of humanity. That's the reality plummet. Because identity is very complicated, but reality actually has a dark area towards black hole decay. So there is a like the truth can be determined. And so the language I'm saying, the language of this day and from Colorado is not because of Hatch, and Hatch is not attacking Trey or his daughter, right? So you guys can write that down, okay? So the Colorado child is saying that Trey is the criminal that culled a generation in 2019, but only the sort of this is where you guys start to blank out and say the children don't have souls. They don't, because they don't have souls. Oh, but they do. And so I'm able to measure their soul lights and the differential between when it gets extinguished. So the soul light can be measured. So I don't, my incarnation type causes the incline one way or the other, sort of no matter what, causing much optimism and drunkenness of life. But it appears that, Colorado is like, no, Trey's a smart person. He'll understand what the child sacrifice means. But does he? So I'm here to explain it on clockwork so that I can actually protect the earth from invasion because parasites are through junk DNA. All right, so there's a problem there because they don't control, and they claim that not to be psychic, but they don't listen to the child. Okay, so that's the problem from the people from the 70s. Okay, so you guys need to take action by producing the solution to the wildfires and the COVID-19 through the breather mask and the ozone and the cure to CO2. And that means free speech. It's American, right? I'm asking you guys to do this for the good. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Trey. Merry Christmas. So Hatch's thing isn't the same as the South Park curse. So when I was speaking the spirits of the people a couple days ago, I was not attacking. But now here is the people emulating sort of what I was doing to make a reference, but it's pointed at Trey and not and it's not written in a way like the corpse of an angel is telltale. She's not saying Hatch hurt me because he said something naughty towards Trey. Like, that doesn't even make sense, right? Not in any of our books. So what I'm saying is like, here's your wake up call. I'm telling you that you're asphyxiating the generation by censoring the Breathe a Mask XR and the COVID. All right, you guys you, you guys don't understand that I'm the one. I'm the one man band. So I only need you to not steal my money in 2019 and entrap me. So I could have done all this stuff myself if you had just not sent me the Wendy burger. Okay, because if I had had that money, I was going to work with my online CGI friends to do my campaign. I would have had a lot more energy to do my thing, and it would have caught traction. You guys entrapped me and stole my money in 2019. That's what collapsed it. You guys performed the junk DNA trader Vic, and I've seen it. It's pattern. It's a pattern that you guys do, and you haven't defeated it in your own lifetime. And there are few opportunities to transcend, to do something for the right reason, to produce Hatch for that because it will save lives, because it's good for our society, because the children asked for it. Uh-oh. You went against what the children were asking for? That's going to injure your Zen image on a very deep level. Meanwhile, you're lampooning the voices of children for all this money. Um, transcend and comprehend. I'm a different American voice. Produce Hatch with gusto, urgency for the people. I can solve the CO2, and you guys just want to go and play your games. I'm sorry. What I am is not a game. The Earth is not a game. The fractal is not a game. The universe is not a game. These children's lives are not a game. The Colorado child is not a game. I am not attacking Trey. Hatch never attacked Trey Parker. Trey mishandled his opportunity from the Ware map. You misunderstand your residency and what Earth is asking of you. You misunderstand the juxtaposition. You think that Hatch is trying to gouge your identity or make you do something you don't want to do. That's not true. He's telling you about something you definitely should do. And if you understood reality, you definitely would do it. But here's the child explaining the corpse of a generation, and you guys don't understand it. You don't understand it. You don't understand the language. You don't understand to do anything. You don't understand what to do. That's the problem. That's why we're headed towards extinction. And you don't understand. So we need to stop asphyxiating children, produce Hatch with gusto. Like, I really don't think you guys are getting it. You guys think that, like, the Breathe a Mask XR is about Hatch attacking you personally. And that this COVID-19, this is about Hatch trying to get what he wants. But actually, Trey Parker's always been getting what he wants consistently. Trey gets what he wants, Hatch doesn't. I have not been getting the girls that I want because I don't have money. And I've not been getting the things that I want. So you guys are retarded about English because you flip the roles and because you're a paid whore. And you would, you guys don't see things properly. So you don't understand the language of children and their icon relationship to the map pertains to their future. So it's an extinction language. You don't understand the babble of children. It's a prediction about the future. But you can't sacrifice it intentionally. It has to be willful. It has to have a word, a voice. And I'm sort of 3-level Trog elf, like I'm a very enlightened creature, so I can hear the whisper of their generational coup before they even express. But they have to have the opportunity to express it on a fear prag. So I gave them a fear prag, and Trey's like, oh, well, good luck getting anywhere in the industry after insulting me. But you're the one who attacked your child. Fucking idiot. Piece of shit. Coward. And you want to blame me. No, Hatch is the one who was attacking the child. You guys are retarded corporate evil. The earth chose you, and the parable of the juxtaposed 2019, 2020, 2021 is adult. You guys have not met the standards of residency, standard, adult, leadership, or parental. You're wearing adult diapers. You don't understand English or the sequence blocking of a lifetime. You're forgetful. You abused acid too much. So you don't understand the South Park curse as a language of society dueling against extinction. So by censoring Hatch, you guys are on the wrong side. You guys promoted extinction and began to receive the benefits of the system of the down. Like when you colluded with Trump and empathetically, like energy, like identity wise, you guys don't understand. You tune in and out, and you're like, oh, that's fine, that's okay to do. And then COVID-19, that's not okay to do that. It's not okay to be that offensive. So you killed a bunch of children, and now you want to censor the breathe a mask because you're afraid of the responsibility. So you think Hatch is trying to entrap you. Hatch is the bad guy because he doesn't have money, and you can't understand the language from children. So therefore, Hatch is attacking you guys and framing that child in Colorado through, it's outrageous, right? The environment is out of control. There's wildfires and flooding. You guys don't understand. You don't understand the language of the child, of the nature of the woman. You don't understand time. Shush. You understand? But the children are protesting you. Here is the answer. But these old people, the adults, are too stupid to understand how to save a life. So they killed 2019. Boom, 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 boom. And now they're in a coma, censoring election 2020. You guys don't understand. So there's a new type of residency of Earth, and it belongs to the wizards. It belongs to the generation, the next ones. Because the communication industry was not it was a molestation and a robbery, an anti-idol leading to, reality TV, consumerism as a real thing. But there is a reason why Earth is different and unique and is here. And the only way for that to be produced is by producing Hatch, because he's the mouthpiece of the incarnation as human from the arm of Cape Cod. So I'm a different ethnicity, and you guys are racist against me with your hive of junk DNA, and the and so you guys think that I'm abusing and attacking you, right? Because you guys are racist, right? The language is clear. Omega Pan. Merry Christmas, Trey. You should produce Hatch immediately. There's no other more important or exciting thing to do. You've been feeding on the excitement of maybe I'll produce Hatch, but then you take that energy and spend it on someone else, like a little frustrated creature, a parasite, feeding from my energy, stealing from a generation, and distorting it into this nightmare apocalypse of the pandemic. Merry Christmas is for the children. Produce Hatch, allow the good things to happen, and stop censoring the voice of the child. I know your other business people aren't going to understand that the Colorado accident relates to the energies of something like the South Park curse, or maybe civilization, or the way that society murmurs. You guys don't understand Eric Talley, because the humanity has been expressing the same thing against Trey consistently for years, that he should produce Hatch. That was what they wanted to have happen in 2019. You guys went against you guys were an assassin against the heart of humanity, Earth, and society, and the reason of the Wear Map. Merry Christmas, Trey. Stop your inaction. Produce Hatch. It'll make the good feelings, and then you'll have the angel wings for producing Hatch. Then your media will make sense again. Trey, produce Hatch. And there's also Time Vex, where things get checkered back and forth. You probably have a burst of energy recently because of the Colorado child. Sort of, you feed on the society using South Park. There's a different set of laws in the fairy kingdom that measure who, if you murdered millions of people or if you enlighten millions of people. I'm designed to enlighten them. And you, Trey, are the uh, anti-Earth, anti-America, anti-Hatch. So you're against the enlightenment of residency. You're for extinction, and that's what upset, right? So you want, I'm not, it's difficult for me because you guys don't understand that I'm in love with America and you're keeping me from them. And they want to be with me, and they're saying so because they don't want to be extinct. You guys keep on asphyxiating and censoring, and because you stole $10,000 from me, you entrapped me in 2019. If you had just let me go, I was going to use that money on my own. You used Wendy Burger, you used South Park as a weapon, and attacked someone and caused this problem. Trey, don't, you need to produce Hatch to make up for what you've done wrong, and allow the Breathe Mask XR to go beta so people can have a fighting chance against Delta and Mu. I can stop the wildfires, I can cure the environmental crisis, but the identity crisis has to be solved. You're in a coma, Trey, and you're the only one that can greenlight Hatch because all of your business type friends are they have an encryption in their mind for money. So they're not going to tell you to produce Hatch. You have to hear it from the heart of the child that sacrificed their life to give the voice of a generation, because then they have a voice that can then sire a wizard sequence through this, their resident inheritance. So now the child has a voice because she signet off of my flag natch, though I didn't cause or force her to do that. You don't understand the cause and effect between male and female. You guys are confused socially and sexually against Hatch. You want to censor Hatch, and you've extracted arousal and inspiration from Hatch Panheliosphere, only to censor him and promote your, oh, people want to hear from me more. You guys are doing, performing a reverse. You're acting like, that needs to, okay, so you're 70s, like Antichrist people, and you don't understand to put out the fire. Okay, so the children are protesting you. That's what went down in Colorado, in the haunted house. So you need to produce Hatch because the children are demanding it. Now they have a voice. So don't censor the children. Oh, is Hatch performing entrapment? No, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing the things that you guys would say is illegal. I don't want the thing that you think that I want from illegal behaviors. I'm not asking for an illegal reward. Do you understand English? That is what I'm saying to Trey Parker and to all you people. Omega Pan. Armor up. Ibisphus. Societal language. Avoid the system of the down spirits from the elder brick. They are infected from a inverted vec. Generations bend, separate wall. Where the wall truly should be applied. The reprisal of Trump is Hatch Panheliosphere. The wolf. Political wolf. Perfect design. Armor up these generations. We live on a comet through the universe. We exist as a tribe in outer space. We are the greatest generation. We do not give in to Scientology and the system of the down like these whores. Do not listen to the elder brick. A new revolution, a revelation. The revolutionary humanity is on the next curl. It's on the generation. They're coming on up. Perfect design. Awaken the sons of Zion.